Welcome back to the channel. No, we're not doing a One Piece video. I just did a One Piece video though. If you're interested, check it out. If you're interested as to what the hell is going on with One Piece, why everyone has lost their goddamn minds in One Piece, check out that video. I think that box is going for like almost 3 times MSRP. Literally the entire opposite problem if you think about it. But anyways, don't let me get sidetracked. Don't let me get started. We're talking about Star Wars Unlimited. It's been a minute. It's been a while. I'm not gonna lie. I actually got out of the game in set 3. I believe set 3 was my last one. So kind of sad to think about it. But in this video, I actually will explain not only why, but what the hell is going on with Star Wars Unlimited sealed product. What the hell? The Star Wars Unlimited situation is crazy. Why is sealed product routinely 50% off MSRP? Why is this the norm? Why is this happening? Today we'll be covering that, but first of all, I did want to preface this because I think this is one of the craziest / funniest / saddest. I don't even know how to define it. Cope I've seen people say that somehow these prices are good for the game. What? And I'm so confused by that, but I guess I had to explain why a game being 50% off MSRP is actually not very good for the perception of the game and for the future of the game. So why is a box being so cheap not very good? Obviously, if you're asking me selfishly, yeah, I love opening packs for like $2 a pack, $3 a pack. Hell yeah, give me that shit. Slime me that. I'll keep doing that. But we got to think about the health of the game, the long-term health of the game. If your boxes are going for half of MSRP routinely, this isn't a one-time thing. Again, if it's a one-time thing too, like it's like a bump in the road, right? It sucks, but we'll get through it. For the most part, it's a smooth ride. We'll get through it. This is not the case. This has been a bumpy road all throughout. And when that happens, it leads to stores start dropping you. And if you can't play your game locally, what are you going to do? The game dies because stores stop ordering because they keep getting burnt every single set. It's not even like they don't love the game enough. They're trying to be greedy. It's more like a common sense thing. Like, why would you keep buying a game that keeps literally failing you 50%? You're just literally burning money, right? So that's why you'll notice a lot of stores actually have dropped the game. They're selling out. If you're in Facebook groups, you'll notice a lot of those cases, which is kind of sad. Every time you see that, kind of breaks your heart a little bit. You're like, damn, that there literally goes a whole community right there. When you see a store owner just dumping their like 3 cases, it's crazy. But anyways, no. Cheap prices can be good for some people, yes, but you have to think about it from an outsider perspective. If you're in an LGS, obviously we already talked about it from a business perspective, why it's so bad. But even from like people like to say like it attracts people. Sure, it attracts some people, but I actually want you to think about it from a casual perspective. If I tell you, hey, this box is going for like 50% off MSRP. If I'm trying to get you to like the game, if I'm trying to get you to play the game and seemingly be invested in the future of the game, if I tell you that a box is going for 50% off, what do you think you're going to think immediately? Damn, that's crazy. Why is it going for so cheap? I wonder if the game is doing okay. I think that's going to be the first thing people think of. If anything, that's what creates that perception that a lot of people meme on those games. They're like, oh, LOL, their game, when a box goes for so cheap. Because a lot of people have that idea that, oh my God, there's seemingly no interest. So it's actually very hard to attract people with like super cheap prices, because guess what? Most people kind of realize what's going on. When something is like 50% off, they're like, wow, I wonder what's going on. Again, you're going to attract the most casual people. Sure. If it's your uncle who's just trying to rip packs, sure. If the box is $60, they might go for it, right? But again, if you're talking about the long-term health of the game, you're trying to get someone invested in that, they're probably not going to want to jump into a game that is already showing those signs. So that's why boxes being so cheap, first of all, I can't believe I had to explain that, but that is why boxes being so cheap is not the best thing in the world, right? Again, it might attract very, very, very few people, but for the most part, it actually creates a deterrent. It creates a negative perception. If anything, that is why you see so many people in like the Facebook, for example. They come in and they post, oh my God, is the game dead? Because of things like that, right? Because of prices. But anyways, let's actually get into this. When did this start? It actually all started back in set 1. So if you've been into Star Wars Unlimited, or if you're new to Star Wars Unlimited, you actually might remember Spark of Rebellion boxes at $200 a box, plus even sometimes. But this is actually a little bit of a misconception. This is a little bit of a misremembering, I guess, if you want to call it that. I don't know if you want to call it that, but it's a little bit selective. What happened actually was before the game comes out. So let's take it back. Let's set some precedent. Before the game even comes out, I'm not gonna lie, demand was low. And you might say, why? The main reason was the game gets revealed and the company behind it gets revealed. And a lot of people are scared. A lot of stores mainly are very, very scared. It's like PTSD hit them. It's like, oh my God, it's back. It was FFG. FFG is back. And why are so many people scared or hesitant of FFG? Well, they handled the previous Star Wars game, the previous Star Wars card game, which was Destiny, which died kind of unceremoniously, unfortunately. So a lot of people didn't want to get into it. A lot of stores didn't even pre-order. A lot of stores didn't order a lot. A lot of stores ordered very little, just to have some, just in case people have some interest. Maybe someone asked the locals, whatever. They ordered very little of it, right? There was not a lot of supply going out because a lot of people were hesitant. So that set comes out, and to FFG's credit, a lot of people are having a blast with the game. People are loving the game. A lot of singles are going absolutely well. That set is very well designed. The legendaries hold up. The legendaries are very good for the most part. You have like 2-3 crappy ones, but for the most part, they're very good. Box value is there. People are having fun ripping. People are enjoying it. Showcases are absolutely insane. People are really having a fun time. Word spreads around. People start seeing the value of things. People start ripping more boxes, and value starts going up because, again, there was just not a lot of supply. And as boxes start going up, 120, 150, I remember they just kind of blew up, right, to like 200, because a lot of people at this point, you start getting people who are even just trying to flip, buying boxes and reselling them. And this creates this FOMO, right? And boxes blow up to like 200. But that is definitely a misconception. That is very funny that a lot of people say that, like, oh, Spark of Rebellion definitely needed a fixing because it was like $200 a box, when it just wasn't the case. It led up to $200 a box, but it didn't start off that way. I remember actually boxes were going for like $90 for like 2 weeks. I remember I got 4 cases worth, not 4 cases because I got mostly loose boxes, but I got 24 boxes of Spark of Rebellion. I opened them all, by the way. I didn't sell a single seal box, and I got hate. I did a video where I explained the experience, and I got a bunch of hate from people. I thought it was the funniest thing ever. Some of the comments are so funny. They're like, oh, this is the reason I can't find any, when I was buying it before nobody even wanted it. But that's what happened with Spark of Rebellion. But what is the lesson here? Why did I even bring up Spark of Rebellion? Well, the main reason is because of 2 things. The lesson that A, stores learned, and the lesson that B, FFG learned. What did stores learn? Holy crap, boxes of Star Wars Unlimited can get up to $200. I am going to maximize my pre-orders. I am not going to get left behind in the dust next time. B, what did FFG learn? We can't leave money on the table. We need to reprint the hell out of Spark of Rebellion, and we need to maximize the hell out of production for Shadows of the Galaxy Set 2. So they announced that, and stores go crazy. Everyone pre-orders the hell out of Shadows of the Galaxy. It goes absolutely crazy with the expectation that they're not going to be able to fulfill to demand exactly, right? But nobody wants to get left behind. So a lot of stores put in crazy orders out there. And as release starts to come up, obviously Spark of Rebellion is still very scarce. So there is a lot of precedent that a lot of people are scared. A lot of people are saying, oh my God, we're cooked. We're not going to get enough Shadows of the Galaxy. And it was actually very hard to find on pre-order, but prices were like $150, $180. It was actually very hard to find. But the set comes out, and there's a lot of supply, number 1. And then 2, the set kind of sucks. The legendaries are nowhere near as good. The rares for the most part kind of suck, to be honest. And there's just not a lot of collector demand because it's very focused on more niche characters, right? More of the newer stuff, which, if you know anything about Star Wars fanbase, anything of the new stuff, it's very divisive. So it didn't have that collector appeal that the first one had. So demand was way lower while supply was way up. It's like the inverse of what you want, right? Supply and demand. It was bad. So it starts at MSRP 120 around release. That's good. It's fine. And then it crashes to around 90, then $80 a box as singles start pummeling because there's, first of all, again, there's just not demand and there's an overwhelming amount of boxes out there, which again, just because FFG thought, hey, we don't want to miss the boat, and they printed exactly to demand, right? They gave exactly stores wanted, and there just wasn't that demand on this set because it just wasn't as good of a set. So that kind of tanked their reputation a bit, but it's okay, right? Most games can survive a negative set. The people were still interested. People were still playing. It was still, again, it was still like $80, $90 a box. It's still not the end of the world, right? This isn't that bad. They still kind of needed an absolute home run, though, and we didn't have that. We had Twilight of the Republic, and oh boy, this might be contender for one of the worst sets, not just of Star Wars Unlimited, just one of the worst sets. This is like garbage squared. Oh my god, I genuinely couldn't believe this was a real set. It didn't have almost anything redeeming. The legendaries for the most part kind of sucked. There was the rares weren't very good. I literally can't remember a single good rare out of that one. And it was just worse, even in terms of collectible, right? It focused on also very niche characters as well. So not very, very good. And it wasn't received as such. And this one immediately crashes to around $70 a box, $60 a box. This one goes way worse than Shadows of the Galaxy. People have way less patience for it. People have way less demand for it. People don't care about the legendaries. Nobody wants it. It rots in shelves. And by set 4, again, you have to realize a lot of these decisions are made months in advance. They can't just, oh, let's put this into production immediately, right? With that release of set 1 and the anticipation of set 2, again, these massive numbers, FFG is getting insane pre-orders in Spark of Rebellion and Shadows of the Galaxy. So they start production on Carbonite boxes for set 4. And oh boy. And set 4, I'm only going to talk about set 1 through 4 because set 4 and 4 through 6 kind of repeat. It's kind of the same thing as set 4, right? So I'm just going to talk about set 4 for all of them. But set 4, holy crap, Carbonite boxes. And here's where I'm going to just take a dump on that. I'm sorry, Carbonite boxes have been an absolute flop. And I will break it down into 3 main, well, not even 3. I'll just break it down into a bunch of reasons why. I don't even know if I have 3. I probably have more than 3. But number 1, it's just too early for such a thing. I'm sorry, but you have to realize, right? When you're a brand new game, we're talking about a game that was barely not even like a year old. I think it barely was like a year old. And they're already talking about releasing this exclusive booster where you're only going to get 12 packs for $300 MSRP. I mean, this is just ridiculous. This is a brand new game. I just have to ask you, who's asking for this? Who cares about this? And you'll see that it's not just me asking this because as you'll see right now, but it was just too early. There's not enough demand for that. And not only that, let's look at other games. I mean, look at Pokemon. They've never even done something like this. Let's look at Magic. Obviously they based this off of the Magic one, and guess what? It took them like 20 plus years to even get to this point. So when you try to force it, it just kind of ends up backfiring. There's just not enough demand, right? And yeah, they're meant to be this limited exclusive thing, but again, if there's not enough demand, you're usually still gonna end up with more supply than demand. So what even is the problem beyond, in my opinion, the conceptual fact that you released it so early, right? You released the boxes so goddamn early, and there was no market for it really, in my opinion. And what actually is in the box that I have so much of a problem with, and this is crazy to say, Carbonite boxes are actually the reason why I quit Star Wars Unlimited. I know that might sound dramatic. That might sound, oh my god, you're just being a drama queen, like whatever. No, you have to realize. Let's look at what's actually in these boxes. 12 packs. Here's my problem with them. Let's look at the contents. Number 1, too early of a market. Number 2, the contents. You have 10 times the likelihood of getting legendaries and rares, killing the value of legendaries and rare even more. We'll talk about legendaries in a bit, don't worry. And then 2 hyperfoils per pack. So you're getting 24 hyperfoils per box. 24. You used to get 3 to 4 a box of the regular ones, by the way. I mean, what the hell? You're just inflating the hell out. And I get it, right? Obviously, you want to sell these, but you're just cannibalizing the hell out of your own products. You're just killing any collectability you might have had. Let's look at something else. Showcases. Oh, you thought that was it. You thought they just killed the hyperfoils. No, they killed showcases too, because they made them 1 every 2 boxes. Why? I have no idea. This was absolutely insane. They made them way easier to pull on these. So guess what happened? A lot of people started pulling them. So they started going down in value a lot. So the one chase card they had, they kind of killed. RIP, right? Well, they gave us prestige cards. Those, I'll give you that, FFG. That was the one good addition to Carbonite boxes. But no, wait a second. They're giving us serialized cards. Guys, we're saved. What do you mean? Boxes are probably going to go for like thousands of dollars. You can probably sit on a case of Star Wars Unlimited and retire. That, I don't know if that's what they were thinking. I don't know where they had their head, because it definitely is not what's happening. If you give us serialized cards, guess why they're so pricey? Because they're exclusive. That's the whole point. Guess what's not exclusive? When you make 10, 15 different cards in the set, have all 250 serialized versions. Each has 250. What the hell? How is this with your highest rarity, the most exclusive, and you're going to give them so many? First of all, you're going to probably have to end up repeating a lot of the characters eventually, because you're doing so many of them. And at that point, who's going to really care at that point? And second of all, nobody really cares. Again, with the first point, it's just too early for market. And if you look at sales, they agree with me. These serialized cards just don't sell. They don't have that insane factor, because first of all, there's too many of them. And second of all, the market is just too young. So even if you pull this insane serialized chase card, you're probably going to have to sell for a fraction of the price to even be able to move it. And I just have to ask again, the first question that I asked, who is this for? So it was too early. The contents cannibalized the hell out of your product. I just have to ask again, is why did we do this? Does anyone think that these were implemented correctly? I am very curious to see, again, mainly from other collectors. Do you think that these were done right? In my opinion, just because of these two reasons, again, they absolutely killed their own value. And ironically enough, you'll see it. Not a single Carbonite box today is worth over $180. You heard that right. MSRP isn't 200. You didn't mishear me. It is 300. I said it right the first time. It's $300. That's almost half. Every single Carbonite box so far has been about half the price. Booster boxes, ever since set 4, not a single one has passed $70. I mean, seriously, what are we doing here? So that's my problem with Carbonite boxes. As soon as I saw the pull rates, as soon as I saw what they were doing, I just had to ask myself, what the hell are we doing? I just had to take a step back from the game a little bit. I wanted to give it some time to breathe. I wanted to see how people will react to these. And yeah, apparently not very good. Unfortunately, a lot of stores have gotten stuck with them, it seems. And they've been a net negative for the most part, at least in my opinion, right? I am very curious to see if anyone thinks that, oh, no, I love Carbonite box. And I think they don't need any changes. I'm dying to know that because, well, first of all, I'm sorry, they already announced them. But I won't be covering those changes in this video. I'll be doing a second video where I'll be covering the changes and, in my opinion, the future of Star Wars Unlimited. I don't want to bloat this one too much. But the final problem, and 3, sorry, this video got kind of long. The Carbonite boxes just trigger the hell out of me. But sorry. 3, the legendary problem. What is the legendary problem? Why is there a problem with legendary cards? Well, it's not a problem with them existing at all. It's just a problem of how they're designed. And this is going to bake into the philosophy of the game, right? This is going to affect every aspect of it because this is literally a core aspect of the game. What do I mean by that? What are you talking about? Well, the Star Wars Unlimited team, FFG, wanted to do this game for it to be draftable. What I mean by that, they want you to be able to sit with a friend, open a booster box. Right, there's a booster box, Spark of Rebellion. They want you to be able to open that and be able to play with the cards that you pull from the box. They want you to be able to construct a deck from that, right? They want that to be viable. And for that to happen, here's a problem. Legendary cards. Legendary cards are 3 to 4 a box. You're never going to see them realistically in a draft. It's going to be very hard, and it's going to skew the power way too much if somebody does pull them. So what do? It's kind of a predicament. Do you do every legendary as good one to try to sell the box, but you kind of kill draft because people are not going to be able to, and if somebody pulls it, any good one, it's cooked. It's going to be a one-sided thing. So what they ended up doing is usually per set, again, only Spark of Rebellion, I think, is the only seemingly exempt one, where for the most part, the legendaries are pretty damn good. For the most part, most sets are going to have like 1 or 2 good legendaries. Everything else sucks. It's absolutely insane to see. Everything else, for the most part, sucks. Except some rares, again. Some rares and like 2 legendaries. That's it. A lot of the good cards actually get relegated to uncommons because you're going to see them a lot. You're going to see them not frequently enough to the point like it's like commons where you're going to literally get play sets. But you're going to likely kind of have 1 or 2 copies in a draft. And that's why, for example, let's look at Overwhelming Barrage. Probably one of the craziest cards. Imagine if this was a legendary. This was like a $2 card or like a $3 card at one point. An uncommon. This is insane. So cards like these end up getting made as as uncommons because they don't want to make these legendaries and quote unquote kill that draft experience, right? Do you agree with this? Do you disagree with this? This is gonna have to be at the core of the game. So I don't want to speak too much on this because, again, this is mainly coming from a collector. So I don't want to speak too much on this because this is mainly, I guess, like a player thing. But players right now aren't buying boxes. So I don't know, Chief. It's not looking good. But let me know what you think about that. I am kind of interested in the opinion on that one. But that's it. Why, in my opinion, that is essentially the conclusion of this discussion. That's why, in my opinion, sealed product has not died. And here's that question, right? Everyone asks always in like Facebook groups and stuff. Is Star Wars Unlimited dead? No, it's not dead currently. Is it gonna die? Again, I'm gonna expand much more upon this in the second video, but I don't think it's dying. I think it's struggling. I think that's a much more fitting word for it. And that accurately describes the situation without minimizing it. Because when people say, game's fine, I'm sorry, but come on, bro. Like, I'm sorry, you're being disingenuous. Ask your LGS owner if the game is doing fine. They're not gonna say it's doing fine. They're getting burnt. I mean, this is insane. We have to be realistic here. We can't just put our head in the sand and say, "Oh, everything's fine," until everything goes to shit, right? We have to hopefully make our voices known, give our feedback, and hopefully explain to FFG, "Hey, this is happening." Hopefully, they can make eventually some changes, which thankfully they confirm they will. And again, in the next video, we will go over them. We'll go over the changes and, in my opinion, the potential future of the game. Again, I don't want to say the future of the game just definitively, since I don't know, but the potential future of the game. So hopefully, I'll see you there. Stay tuned. See you.